So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set your settings perfect for you and you only, you guys. So the first thing I want to explain to you guys is that the only way to truly understand settings is to know what each setting means. So today, you guys, I'm going to be going over controller settings, but if you guys like this video, let me know and I will go over all the keyboard settings and what they do and how they change everything you got going. But for today, you guys, I'm going to be going over each controller setting. So if you have Builder Pro on, you'll automatically build stuff when you switch. As you can see here, every time I switch, it's automatically putting it down. So see, if I switch to wall, it's automatically gonna put down that wall without any hesitation. So a good way to show you guys a sample of this is if I put this all the way up to 2.5, you guys. So you guys are gonna see, you probably can't notice because it's such like a small time gap. But basically, I'm editing a lot slower though. Basically, there's a lot bigger of a delay between me pressing my analog stick and me actually editing. I know it's kind of hard to see the slow delay. I'll have my even like if you see me pressing it, I feel like you wouldn't even be able to tell the delay is still like it's still really hard to like decipher. But obviously, that's something you don't want. So that's the reason why a lot of people play with this all the way off. So let's put it back to where it was. And as you guys can see, I can notice it does feel a little faster when I get on the click now. Like I feel like I just have to click it. I feel like I just have to click it and I'm automatically on my edit. First things first, if you are looking at your look sensitivity and your ADS on top right there, if you have advanced settings on, these are not being used. If you have advanced settings on, these are not being used. They are not being used. So what's being used if you have advanced settings on is your advanced look sensitivity and your advanced aim down sight sensitivity. Which this basically does is when you have advanced settings on, it breaks down the look sensitivity and the aim sensitivity into bigger categories, so you're able to tweak it even more than before as it just your sensitivity. Alright, build sensitivity multiplier, you guys. What that does basically, it is your look sensitivity when in build mode. So basically how fast you are looking around and how fast you could basically turn and build as you're building. So this is basically one of the main keys to I wouldn't say building faster, but I would say this is one of the biggest things to getting to where you like it. Which way to go, it feels like a slow action, then that's when you need to change your sensitivity multiplier. So basically, if you're in your edit mode and you feel like you're editing a little too slow while you are changing your angles, that's when you need to go into your edit mode sensitivity multiplier. If you feel like this is happening with your builds, then that's when you need to up or decrease your build mode sensitivity multiplier. All right. And I feel like those are the really two things to understand and how to use those, because a lot of people just go based off what they hear, but those are two very important things to actually know how they work. And alright, so you guys, as you guys can see, look horizontal speed is when you're rotating from left to right. Vertical speed is when you're looking up and down. So you guys, this will change how fast you look left and right. So if you feel like you're looking left and right really slow, that's when you will change your look horizontal speed. For your look vertical speed, if you feel like when you look up and down it is relatively slow or relatively too fast, this is when you change your look vertical speed, you guys. So what is ADS? ADS is just aim down sights. Aim down sights is when you press L2 and your gun zooms in on and focuses. Aim down sights is just literally when your gun focuses when you're pressing L2 down for basically most of you controller players. You're pressing L2 and you're focusing your gun on a specific target. that's when you're using your aim down sight sensitivity. So basically the same thing applies to everything we said before. So if you want to change your up and down ADS, you're going to have to look into your horizontal speed. If you want to change your left and right ADS, you're going to have to look into your vertical speed. You always want to have this. Look, as you guys can see, it says lowering this setting is not recommended. So do not ever have your aim assist lower than 99%. Always have it at 99 or 100%, because that's basically something that's given to controller players to match up with mouse and keyboard players. So make sure you guys have your aim assist at 99 or 100%. There's no reason it should be any lower than that. You're given. But the last thing I would go over is the dead zones, you guys, which is basically how bad is your controller, which is the best way to put this. So basically, you guys, if you have high dead zones, so if your dead zones are at 26, 27%, that means your analog inputs are really bad. That means like you've probably been using the controller for a long time, and that it has a lot of what's the good word for it? It has a lot of it's been used a lot, so it has a lot of like it has a lot of wear and tear. So basically, the more wear and tear your controller has, the higher the dead zones are most likely be. And basically, where the dead zones are located at is right here, you guys, in the middle of the this part right here. So basically, as you know, when you're pressing buttons a lot, you're going like this. You're going like this a lot. You're going like this a lot. So as you can know, as over and over again, eventually those buttons do wear out. So as those buttons wear out, you have to up your dead zones according to how bad and how wear and tear they are. So basically, I'm at 10% right now, because this is basically a new controller, and I would say most new controllers range between 5 and 10%, and I would say older controllers range between about 15 to 20%. But like, I've heard a lot of pro players, they literally buy a new controller every 2 months just so they could stay on a certain percentage. But all dead zones do, you guys, is basically with your analog sticks. It's basically how bad it, like, yeah, that's a good way to explain it. How bad are your analog sticks, you guys? So if you feel like when you press the button, like, it takes really long to push it in, you probably gonna need a higher dead zone, just so like your left stick is able to read it. It's able to read it correctly when you're actually pressing it. Because if your dead zone is incorrect and it's too low and you have bad dead zones, you're gonna be misclicking. Basically, stuff is gonna be happening with that L stick when you don't want it to happen, because your system is gonna be registering the wrong action. It's not gonna be registering the wrong action because your dead zones are too low, and that analog stick is too sensitive. So now it's like basically making you walk a certain way, or literally stick drift, which you guys all know what stick drift is. That's because of your dead zones, you guys. So if you have stick drift in Fortnite, the best way to fix that is by upping your dead zones, you guys. That's how you fix your stick drift in Fortnite. So I was like, tag your friends in this video, guys. If you have stick drift in Fortnite and you need to get rid of it, up your dead zones on whatever analog stick it is drifting. So basically, if you're looking up, that means you need to change. I believe that's your right stick. Your right stick. Looking is yeah, looking is your right stick. So if you're looking up, you need to looking up and down, like when you're not touching it, you need to up your right stick dead zone. If you're moving if you're moving like a certain direction, you need to change your left stick dead zone. So that's basically how the dead zones work, and they're really important to know about. But I would say everything else is not too important. Like, those are like the main things you need to know about. I would say your dead zones, your ADS, and your look sensitivity. And I was like, obviously your build and your edit mode sensitivity multipliers. Important key things to having your settings perfect for you, you guys. So I hope this helps you out. I hope you're gonna be able to get the settings exactly where you need it. And you already know, free skins tomorrow. Big Jojo out.